This is WWE Wrestling Legend Hall of Famer Tito Santana.
This is WWE NXT Superstar Lexis King.
And you are listening to the Source Wrestling Podcast. Arriba!
And you're listening to the Source Wrestling Podcast. Long live Lexis King.
You're looking at the best there
Austin
is.
316.
What do you guys want to talk about? I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. I'm the best. I'm the best in the world.
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
We will rest
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to a special Battle Royal Open discussion episode of the Source WWE AEW All Things Wrestling Podcast with Joe and Mike. Yeah. We have not had the time to do a Battle Royal Open discussion in a little while. It is exciting to be back where we will be talking about the hottest topics in all of professional wrestling, including
8 topics tonight.
Yes, we
Plus some
have a bonus topic as well. We are going to be talking about the illustrious QR code. We will be talking about some Judgment Day drama, Imperium drama as well, who may be Swerve's first rival as champion, also some other topics, Toni Storm and Mariah May. We got to dive into that a little bit. Is Rhea Ripley's injury just a work? I know Mike's going to dive right into that one. We have some forbidden talk here, some Vince McMahon talk. The non-compete clause expires January 2025. We will dig into that. And also some MJF updates. As usual, we can't have an episode without talking about Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And we have one bonus topic that we will get into at the end. You'll have to stick around to find out what that one is. Let us talk to you. It's the Source Wrestling Podcast.
So it's another edition of our Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some topics that have come to my mind today that we just need to get
mind
out
of
there.
Mad Mike.
First of all, we have this QR stuff going on. If you didn't know what we're talking about, there's been little glitches going on at the WWE.
And you really got to be quick and catch them.
Yeah, at first it was just after the show went off, there was some creepy music,
yes,
some hints and things, and then it seems that there have been some glitching going on in the screen during different things. When
after
they were
promos,
the titles,
interviews.
and the QR codes have read cryptic messages that lead back to latitudes and longitudes. Go check it out on YouTube.
Really
They'll show you
interesting.
everything. The latest one, which was interesting,
this one was cool.
was a QR code that I looked up, brought you to a website. You could type something in. When you typed 5, it brought you to a really cool video.
Yeah, it wants to know how many human senses there are or something along those
5
lines.
human senses, honestly. So that's what I guess. But then I typed in Bo.
Yes.
And it
B-O.
said he saw.
It was like he saw. Yeah. Then you typed in Bray, and it says remembered.
Yeah, and then Wyatt, and it says, rest in
forever
peace
or something
forever,
like that.
Yeah,
really, really
and
cool.
And then you typed in howdy, and it says hello.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, play around with that. If you can find anything that we didn't find, send it in. We'd love to talk about it. But
it also shows a really cool video package as well, which I did see.
It confirms that this is involving Bray Wyatt.
They're coming.
And it confirms that it has to do with Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas.
Yeah,
we know that now for sure.
At a quick
moment,
moment,
the video.
Yeah, at a quick moment in this video, it was quick. I was at work when we were sending it back and forth.
Yep.
And there was a quick moment in this video where it showed like the porch of this house, which looked like the Firefly Funhouse, and there was a note on the ground that was like, do you remember us, or something like that? Did you forget us? Or it was something along those lines, which I really thought was cool. And it's not confirmed, but confirmed in a way that we might be seeing a brand new Wyatt family in the WWE.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed. I typed in all the other members that are speculated. Nothing came up for Matt Hardy or Braun Strowman or Alexa Bliss or even
We did see
Eric.
Redbeard stuff, though.
Was there?
We did see Eric Redbeard stuff, not in the not in
the
any of these
latitude
codes.
and longitude brought you to a skull, which looked a lot like the one he wore down. when
And
they were
also, what I'm trying to get at is he was supposed to have some kind of independent showing or, a performance or whatever the case may be. It had to be canceled due to contractual obligations.
Yes.
And that can only mean
Yes.
what?
And obviously it's going to be easy to get Alexa Bliss back in, so that's obviously going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Twisted
and then
Bliss.
Also, Matt Hardy, everybody was saying how he signed a TNA. Not the case.
He's a free
he just
agent.
made an appearance.
And he was quoted saying, I'm a free agent. I can go wherever I want. And he has said, as of today, that he's been in talks with every major wrestling promotion in the last few weeks. So there's that to marinate on as well.
Yeah. And then Braun Strowman, we were already expecting him to come back.
Yeah,
in
he's
anyways.
on the roster.
So that's our 5, really. Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas. We got Eric. We have Braun Strowman. We have Matt Hardy and Alexa Bliss. That's
There's
our
your
5.
new Wyatt
And
family.
we think that that's going to happen. When is it going to happen, Joe? When are we going to see this?
I think it'll be soon. They're teasing it more and more, especially at the end of the tearjerker Bray Wyatt becoming immortal documentary.
It'd be really cool. I don't want this to happen, but it would be really cool if they stretched it to like Halloween.
Yeah,
You know what I
so
mean?
that way it could be like even spookier. And, I'm scared. I hope they do Bray Wyatt's vision justice with this. I don't want his legacy tarnished at all.
I think that they're going to do great.
I hope so. I really do.
Because that's his brother. It's his blood.
Yeah.
It's a similar mind.
And he's got a
He knows
brand
his
new
brother.
fire,
Yeah, he knows
in his
brother.
life now.
Yeah, they have all the notes. They have all the ideas. They're
Yeah,
going to
right.
run with it. We're going to see what happens. So
Absolutely.
check out the QR codes if you haven't already. There's a lot of cool information out there. Looks like we're getting a Wyatt 5. So
Not the Wyatt 6, but
Yeah.
hey, we'll take it.
I mean, maybe it will be. Maybe
Yeah,
there's a
there could
6th
be
member
an-
we're not thinking
Yeah,
about. you know?
exactly.
Who
Or
knows?
if there's somebody that you think, please let us know.
Yeah, well-
QR code. Look it up.
Yeah. So that's been really cool. I like how the WWE is just so stacked with talent. And now we got this on top of it.
I know. Like,
how
where
are
do
we gonna
they
fit all
fit
this
in?
You know what I
Right,
mean? So
right.
great. Keeping it pumping. We're going to talk about the Judgment Day and that.
All rise for the
yeah,
Judgment Day.
It looks like, I'm hearing rumors, with Rhea Ripley out that Liv Morgan is going to weasel her way into the Judgment Day because she said that she's on her.
She's on her Liv Morgan revenge tour.
Yes, and she's going to take it all.
Right.
So,
And what better group to join?
been a lot of hints that she's gonna be
She could join this Judgment Day
taking
and
it
become a
over.
member. Damian Priest has not been happy with the actions of Dominic bringing in Legado del Fantasma guys, and there's a lot of turmoil here in the Judgment Day.
we
They
haven't
lost their
done
tag
our
titles and
Raw
everything.
recap yet, but we're talking here, and we
Oh,
have
yeah.
to talk about it because it's included. But she was seen backstage with Dom,
She was.
face to face, and then it fades out like they were about to talk about something.
And then,
Damian
poof,
Priest
gone.
turned pretty much on Dominic and JD McDonough.
Yeah, it was not looking good.
Told them he does not need them.
Yeah, exactly. He's the
where's
World
that
Heavyweight
going?
Champion.
It looks like there might be a reformation of the Judgment Day. I could see it changing a little bit to be maybe JD McDonough, Finn, and Liv Morgan.
Interesting.
Damian cutting out.
Yeah,
and
just doing
Dominic
his own
just
thing.
kind of linking up with Phantasma.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what
obviously,
mean?
it seems like he fits the bill for Legado del Fantasma, and he can't be in the Judgment Day forever. We know that.
That could be the point
yeah.
of Rhea Ripley. We'll get to Rhea Ripley in a bit, but that could be
Yes.
the point of her injury right now is resetting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
very
Because
true.
now, with her gone, they can now break up the Judgment Day.
Brand
do what
new
they gotta
direction
do.
for
You know
each
what I
of the
mean? So,
superstars.
yeah.
We'll see. JD Bobblehead, that's not looking good for him, though.
Worth talking about,
For sure.
But then we also are going to dive into the Imperium drama. We're going to do more
Okay.
spoilers for Raw because that's what's going on. But
Yeah. It's an open
basically,
discussion. All bets are off.
Gunther came out pretty much. They lost the tag team match.
They did.
Imperium did, and then Gunther flipped out on them and left them high and dry in the ring. Said something or looked a certain way at Vinci, and then Vinci went, ham sandwich all over.
It was Kaiser that
yeah.
went ham all over Vinci, and he just slammed the back of his head into the LED board. He's thrown him off and onto the ring steps. Really, really bad here after Gunther comes out. And, Vinci's getting medical attention. He's getting carted away, and Kaiser goes to the backstage area through the gorilla position, and the ring general Gunther is waiting there and seems pleased at what he'd done to Giovanni Vinci.
And what did Vinci say?
And it was Kaiser who said, "I told you I'd get it done."
I keep calling Vinci Kaiser.
Yeah.
So
Kaiser's the better of the two.
Yeah.
Vinci, it's obvious he needs repackaging. They're taking him out of Imperium.
I think this is a good move to send him down. Because in my
NXT,
opinion, if you're bringing
again.
people up from NXT, you're going to have to send some people
Yeah,
down.
like they did with Corbin and
I think
all that.
Vinci's one of those. And I think Corbin's coming back up, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, his whole burn the ships gimmick worked real well in NXT. It was like, forget everything. I'm Baron Corbin. That's who I am. And he's one of the safest workers, one of the coolest guys I've seen. You see him in interviews. The guy's just real, man.
Yeah.
Who deserves more. I will say that. He deserves a lot more. But he did beat Roman Reigns clean 1, 2, 3. We'll
he'd
put
be a
that
big
out
deal
there.
in AEW.
I believe it.
Like, that's one of those people that
Yes.
honestly would suck to see him leave WWE, but it might serve a better purpose for him to be in AEW.
And just
you know what I mean?
flourish. He
There's
could
no way
flourish there.
he's going to be a world champ until 10 years from now, at least. I mean, how old is the guy? Probably
He's up there,
28,
man. He's definitely got to be higher than that.
Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Baron Corbin. And it's notable to say as well, while we're on the topic of AEW.
39,
See,
yeah.
there you go. Yeah, 39 years old. And while we're on the topic of AEW, here's a little fun fact for you guys that I saw today from a reputable source. Tony Khan reached out to Bill Goldberg to
I saw that
be
too.
part. Yeah, it's hitting the waves right now. It's making its rounds. He reached out to Bill Goldberg to be part of AEW, and Goldberg declined. He said it's not an actual business. It's a joke. He doesn't want to be a part of it. So we will not have another Oldberg run, and we will not see who's next in AEW. That is confirmed.
So with all this AEW talk,
yeah.
we're going to segment right into who will be Swerve's first rival as champion. What will be the first big rivalry for him in the championship belt? Joe, I'm going to let you
Interesting.
take this one totally
Interesting.
because I haven't been, following along with
Yeah.
AEW as well as I
And
should
that's
have.
fine with me
I'm just being
because
honest.
that's fine with me because I am the WWE AEW guy. AEW, they claim, is where the best wrestle, and some of them do. As for Swerve Strickland being the new champion, who can I see as his first rival for this championship? I'm going to go out and say this. Swerve has had problems with the Don Callis family. Okay, he has had his issues there. Why not give him his first title defense against a guy who can really go, just like Swerve? What about Konosuke Takeshita? All right. I would like to see that as his first rivalry. Takeshita is a good heel, even better in-ring worker, and I think there would be nobody better to have this first title championship match against Swerve Strickland as champion to defend against Konosuke Takeshita to just raise that credibility for Swerve even more. The match that I think the two of them could have, I don't know if they already have. They might have gone at it in the Continental Classic. I'm not sure. But now that Swerve's the champ, give him a solid heel to work. And I think it should be Konosuke Takeshita to be the first one here. Obviously, Swerve should retain. He should have a credible run as champion. He has worked very hard. Takeshita can be another notch in his belt, and I think it'll be a serious notch if Swerve can get a victory over Konosuke Takeshita of the Don Callis family, who he's already had problems with. That's my prediction, Mike. That's who I think it's going to be.
What champ is Takeshita right now?
Takeshita is not a champion.
Oh, I thought he was.
No, he is not a champion right now. That's another reason why I could really see it. There's not too many heels that aren't champions right now.
I don't want to see that because they're going to have Takeshita win that. And honestly, I don't see it because I think that Takeshita is, I can't even say it, is gonna go for Roderick Strong.
Okay, fair enough.
And I think
I'd
that
like
title
to see
makes
him
a little
with that
more sense for him right now.
title. Yeah.
Because when he takes the world title, or when they're saving the world title for Ospreay.
Will Ospreay.
Ospreay is their
He's
future
gonna win
world
that.
champion for a while. When he gets it,
Oh, yeah.
he's gonna have it for a long time.
Sure
so they're gonna
is.
have to get it all out of their system right now.
Absolutely.
So they're gonna have to focus.
Or we can say it like MJF.
internet.
Or we can say it like MJF said it. Take a shitta. Is
Yeah.
what he used to say.
Yeah.
God, we miss him. We'll get to him
Oh,
later.
man.
So 2 takes for you guys on who Swerve's first rival as champion could be. I'm going to Takeshita. Mike has other plans for Konosuke.
I think that, if I were to pick, and I know the least about all this, but
And that's fine.
sometimes that works out. I just
and
think
it's a
that
fresh take.
with Hook dropping the FTW title.
Oh, why
think
did
Hook
I
and-
not think of
Hook
that?
And Swerve could have a good rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, given
Hook's
it's
not gonna
face
win
versus face, and he won't win, but
it's going to put him
yes.
over. You know what I mean? That whole rivalry with Swerve is going to put him
over. And now
over.
that you said that,
so.
it kind of reminds me of when Hook went against Samoa Joe for the title. That's exactly what that'll do.
Yeah, which Hook impressed me way
It
more
will
than Samoa Joe
absolutely,
did in that match.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This could be an elevator type match for Hook, who could use it right now after taking an embarrassing loss to Chris Jericho and losing his FTW championship. So that is a good first choice as well. Though it's not face versus heel, it's two really.
That's the weird dynamic of it, is that Swerve Strickland is a heel.
I mean, technically,
he's kind of like Rhea Ripley or Roman Reigns, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Where the fans love him.
Fans love him. He's got Prince Nana doing the dance.
And honestly, Hook is kind of just like, what is he? He's
true.
Is he a heel? Is
he
a
comes
face?
out. He does not
doesn't
acknowledge
care.
the crowd.
That's the point.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of him.
Yeah, so it kind of works.
True, it does work. I like it. So will it be Konosuke Takeshita, the Alpha? Will it be the cold-hearted, handsome devil Hook? Who is going to have AEW World Championship implications coming soon in our foreseeable future?
And on my mind today, I was scrolling the internet and I saw this is a far-fetched one. Okay,
Touchy
this
topic
is like
too.
one of those things that I see online. They're totally like reaching for likes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's definitely
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
but it's
let's
cool to
talk
talk
about
about.
it.
You know
Let's
what I
talk
mean?
about it.
So
Let us
Vince
talk to
McMahon
you.
has a non-compete in his clause that expires in January 2025.
Interesting.
Does he start a new wrestling federation?
My God.
Does he link with AEW and bring him to new heights?
The ultimate Mr.
What do you
McMahon
think
heel
here?
turn.
Yeah, what do you think here, Joe?
Oh man, I'm gonna go ahead and say on a limb, it's not a good idea in my mind. Not only Vince McMahon's age, but his track record right now is not looking very good. Could he pull it off? Obviously, he's a billionaire. He can get anything he desires. Can he get it done? Of course, he can ink the deal, but I am in awe of this new WWE era, and this all happened due to the exit of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and I just don't think he's got the mind for the business that he once had, and
Well, he's
I don't think it's a
78
good
years
idea.
old.
He is 78 years.
Here's the thing, okay? A few factors in this one, okay? For this
Yeah.
to be true, and I'm going to argue it to be true, okay?
Uh-huh.
So if it's true, then these things need to happen, okay? At 78 years old, he still has to be sharp. He still has to
Which
have
I
his
don't
mind.
think he is.
No, he still has to have his mind in memory. You know what I mean? He still has to remember
Definitely.
how we ran the business
What
and
worked,
the things that
what
made him
didn't.
successful.
Absolutely.
If he has that still in his mind, he's valuable to Tony Khan. And that's where my
Yeah,
brain is.
man. Yeah.
Here's the second factor, and the only other factor that matters. Is he bitter? Is he bitter that he
Right.
was removed from the WWE?
His
Is he
legacy
mad about
gone.
it? Tarnished? You know what I
No.
mean? If that's the case, he could literally just join AEW and sell his information, teach them how
Right.
to be
Show
successful.
them the way.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that could happen. Is he going to
Imagine
start a
that,
whole new
though.
wrestling federation by himself? Absolutely not.
No
but could
way.
he help Indie League become a real league?
Oh,
could
God,
he help?
yeah. God, yeah.
AEW learn some things, some trade secrets that he knows that'll
Yes.
help them get past the hump. That's
It's
the way I
definitely
can see it
possible.
going, and that
Definitely
depends
possible.
on how sharp his memory is,
Right.
And how bitter he is. At WWE.
What they say about him is that he's in the gym at 4 a.m. every morning. He is active. They say he is still, the Vince McMahon of old in most ways, besides in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to go there.
who
yeah.
knows, really?
Yeah, who knows? Nobody knows. Vince McMahon,
No one
obviously.
wants to know.
No one wants to know. Vince McMahon, obviously one of the most brilliant minds in professional wrestling, period. Can he do it all again in 2025? At his age, though, I'm going to say nah.
yeah, it'd have to be buying his memory kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's worth
right.
something. Okay, so next topic we have up, we're going back to AEW.
We're the best wrestle, brother.
We're going to talk about one of the only stories that has me really like captivated and like, you
This
know,
one is engaging, yes.
it's Tony Storm and Mariah May. We were talking about it earlier. It's a situation, well, in the earlier show, in the last episode.
Yes.
Situation shaping up for a rivalry. I'm saying
Between
you're
the two of them.
And here's the key. I'm not going to go through it all, but I mean, you know, it was telling for me when Tony Storm was approached and asked about Mariah May
At the
being the
media
number
scrum.
4
Yes.
contender, and her brushing it off, acting like it was, you know, ignoring
wasn't
it.
no thing,
It
yeah.
shows me that they're building something here, in my opinion, where Tony Storm is going to completely not even think or you know, she's going to totally write off Mariah May,
Right.
and be like, whatever, we don't
'Cause
have
that's
to worry
her
about
right
that.
hand,
And
you
then
know?
that's going to be the one that takes the title, and
Yeah.
that's going to put Mariah May over. And so on and
It
so
sure
forth.
will.
And that's my prediction
It
on the
sure will.
situation. Joe, why don't you
I like
talk-
it.
yeah.
And to follow up on that, we obviously know what timeless Tony Storm brings to the table. All right. We're not strangers by now. And if you are, go back and look her up. This whole thing with her and Mariah May, it's I think Mike's right. It's got to come to fruition. It's got to come to the two of them, you know, going against each other, because timeless Tony Storm is that's not even a thought in her mind, is that she could be going up
Yep.
against her student, if you will, her
a great
protege.
storyline,
It is a
honestly.
great story. It's student versus teacher, and 9 times out of 10, history repeats itself, and the student could beat the teacher here. Mariah May is sharp. Like, I say this a lot, but she reminds me of Charlotte Flair in the ring. She's really, really good. I don't know what indie promotion she came from before this, but props to TK for picking her up. I think we do see timeless Tony Storm versus the protege Mariah May for the AEW Women's World Championship, and I say May takes the title after maybe a couple pay-per-views. You know, they could string this out for quite a while. It doesn't have to be built up to one pay-per-view. And seeing Mariah May as the number 4 contender right now, I think she weasels her way into a number 1 contendership match where Tony Storm and Mariah agree that she's going to throw the match, you know what I mean? And Mariah May accidentally picks up a victory and becomes number 1 contender, and that sets timeless Tony Storm, you know, over the edge. I could see that happening. I really can. Who's going to be the one to beat timeless Tony Storm for this title? Who better than the protege herself, Mariah May?
That's right. I can see it happening. I can see that storyline going that way. It's all pointing towards that
It
way.
is.
So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we've been pretty good about saying, hey, this might happen, and it happens.
Yeah.
So, Tony
So
Khan,
keep
do the right
listening to
thing.
the source. Keep listening to our Battle Royals, because that's where you
Yeah.
get the real inside.
The
real
exactly.
inside view.
On
you
the
know?
Battle Royal open discussion episodes, we throw the scripts in the trash. We're just shooting from the hip, whatever comes to mind. You know, you can't write this stuff, and this is why we enjoy professional wrestling, because you can sit here and just shoot on it and have it be entertaining and engaging. Timeless Tony Storm, Mariah May, will they end up in a feud for the AEW Women's World Championship? Well, time will tell.
Time will tell, Joe. But
Yes.
here's the thing, okay? What's going on with Rhea Ripley?
Ah, man.
You know, she's injured.
The old
supposedly.
injury plague.
She supposedly got injured in this video we saw of her getting tussled
Couldn't
around. a little
see
bit.
anything.
There's no injury in that video. And if you
We
can
can't
find the
see it.
injury, send it in to me. Show me where she
Right.
was injured,
Where
and I'll
is
send
it?
you $10 each for everybody
There you
that
go.
sends it. $10 via
Yep.
fucking.
That's
Cash
how
App,
confident
Venmo, whatever
Mike
you want.
is that this is a work.
So here's the deal, okay? She comes out, you know, it's all
It's somber.
It's all a production, in my opinion. She comes out, she doesn't do
They
her famous
are
leg
actors,
kick.
you know?
She's somber. It's what I'm saying. We're dealing with some of the best actors
Yes.
out there.
Absolutely.
So
they don't
good
get
that
enough
they go to
credit for
Hollywood
that.
after this.
They
you know
do.
what I mean? So
And they don't
it's
get enough credit for that.
Yeah. Who's to say this isn't all an act? You know, I think that, you know, we were talking earlier, and it kind of spun some wheels and changed a little bit of my perspective earlier when I was thinking, it's almost like, yeah, this is a reset. This feels like a reset.
It really could
How
be
do
for the
you-
Judgment Day.
Yeah,
and,
Judgment
you know,
Day's
she
been
can
going
branch
on for a
off on
while.
her own.
Yeah,
you know?
there's not much more you can do with that now.
I know, especially now that Damian Priest is a world champion.
Yeah, I think
you know?
you know,
He's kind of too high and mighty now for the Judgment Day in a way. you know, in his own mind.
The only thing that tells me that it might not have been a work is the fact that Becky Lynch just won the title.
Yes. And why would they just put
why wouldn't
Rhea
they
over
just
at
had
Mania?
had her do that
But
at Mania.
I myself have to say that I'm happy that Becky Lynch was the one to win the Women's World Championship in the Battle Royal. The internet is pissed. Fuck you guys. All right. What more credible champion is there right now on Monday Night Raw? In my opinion, it's Big Time Bex. It's the man, Becky Lynch. I think they made the right decision here to, keep Rhea Ripley's title nice and warm for a return.
But here's the thing: timetable for her return is about 2 to 3 months.
Correct.
What, 4 months at the most?
SummerSlam.
Why did Seth Rollins not drop his title?
I know.
If that's the case.
Well, that man is a whole different animal as well.
And honestly, when she did drop the title, she got in a tussle right after that,
She
where
did.
she headbanged,
She threw
headbutted
headbutts
somebody. And I'm
all
sorry, but you gotta throw with your shoulder a little bit.
And we discussed
If you're
this
doing
before.
a headbutt,
Yeah.
why would you even, if you're that injured and you're missing time, you drop the time, why would you even risk re-injuring or injuring more something?
I get that.
It doesn't make sense to me. I think it's a work. I think it's all storyline. I think she comes back and gets it, and there's a whole new thing going on. I don't know. I think it's a reset.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's very, very possible. We do not know. There was no clear evidence. There was nothing in that video that was clear and obvious that Rhea was substantially
She was
injured.
already wearing a brace when the video started. If you notice, she had a brace on her arm.
Which is strange, yes. Strange.
Already. So
it could be another one of these, now that we're on this topic.
But it was like a forearm.
Let me get this out. It could be another one of these, like, look at what happened to Cody before Hell in a Cell with Seth Rollins, the torn pec, while he was just doing his normal workouts. What if, Rhea trains hard. Look at her.
Yeah.
What if she was just training and had one of these freak injuries and it's preventing her, obviously, from competing. So they had to make that, they had to make that
maybe
segment.
she hurt her wrist or forearm, it looked like. And then maybe she's like, since this happened and I'm going to have to rehab for 2-3 months, let me take some time off. And you know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe it's a real injury, but they're working with it. Maybe it's fake. Maybe, I don't know.
We don't know.
You heard my theories. You could tell me what you think.
Absolutely.
And now we're on to our MJF news, which we always like to touch upon.
Absolutely.
We all have our takes here. Joe's going to start it off with the take that he has.
Yes, I do have one here. The other day, he broke his social media silence for the second time now since losing his championship. The first time we've already mentioned, it was about The Rock and, how he was the first one to choke Cody out, yada, yada, yada. This one is brand new. This one here, he posted an Instagram story in which he confirms an appearance for C2E2. It's like it's one of these wrestling cons or just one of these conventions, and he is sharing the graphic with his photo with his name, MJF. Will be appearing at C2E2, and it's notable to say that it says All Elite Wrestling on this graphic.
And even though Liv Morgan said it's possible and she thinks that he would come to WWE, and others as well in WWE have said that, it makes sense for him to make the move. You know, Ricky Stark says he's coming back soon, he thinks. And also Tony Khan just said, we think he's coming, I'd like to have him back sooner or later. So a lot of soon talk from the WWE wrestlers. I mean, from the AEW wrestlers.
Yes.
So I'm starting to think it's AEW, and I hate it.
And I know we hate it, but they need him. If there's one wrestler that they need, it is the salt of the earth himself, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
I used to really look forward to watching him.
Yeah, and I still, I miss him so much that I'm going back and watching his best rivalries again. I was just doing it before we started this podcast today. All the interviews that he does. There was one that he did with Chris Van Vliet in a hotel room where he's interrupting the interview just to go get room service. The people are knocking on his door, and this was a long time ago. This interview was really, really good. He just stays in character the entire time in every interview. He goes to the door, gets his food. He comes back. He even found a way to drink water as a heel. He makes this annoying noise when he drinks water. It's just the guy don't miss, you know, and he really, AEW really could use him back 100% nuclear heel MJF too. We saw the good guy. We saw the baby face. It was a great run, but now it's time for him to take back what's rightfully his eventually, the Triple B, the Big Burberry belt, the AEW World Championship. And we wish Max a speedy recovery, and we really hope to see him back, quote unquote, really soon.
In the WWE.
In the WWE,
Feuding
brother.
with LA Knight.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine those two guys
Right?
going in a promo battle.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
oh my God, there aren't enough ears in the world to listen to that.
Or him and Cody again.
Absolutely,
you know, like-
absolutely.
So now we have some departures.
We
We're
do.
gonna
Yes,
bonus departures.
this is really fresh. We have some fresh
It looks
WWE
like,
releases.
You know, Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Sangha are gone.
They are.
I think that they were talking a lot about the disrespect of the
To
Indian
their
people.
culture, yes.
And honestly, I think reading more into it, I can't find out what WWE did to disrespect them. I think it's releasing them.
Right.
I think
That's
the whole
probably
thing.
what it is.
I think
Yeah,
they're
right.
saying they're
The
being released, that
disrespect
they're
of being
disrespecting.
released.
Yeah.
And
Although
maybe
one-
even not putting them
yeah.
incredible storylines, not
One
putting
weird
them on
thing
TV.
is that Jinder Mahal posted money bags, and I don't know if that
AEW
means,
as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that means that Veer said, "Screw this,
Mm-hmm.
WWE ain't doing nothing for me. I'm going to AEW. I'm taking
Right.
the money," and then obviously
Right.
WWE is like, "Okay, then we're going to release Veer and Sangha because
Yep.
there's no point without you."
Literally no point.
And
The
maybe that
Indus
was-
Sheer team
Yeah.
has not gained any steam.
Yeah, Zion Quinn as well. He
Yep, that's another one.
Yeah, he was kind of he was jobbing hard for the
Yeah.
company, so there's really
Yep.
nothing to lose there.
Yep.
Xia Li
as well.
Yeah, there was no place for her. They were trying to work her in. It wasn't working, so that
No.
makes sense.
No.
Von Wagner, that's very surprising for
That
me.
one was kind of a shocker.
But he
yeah.
looks like an AEW guy. So if anybody
yeah.
out of this list so far is going to AEW, it's Von Wagner.
Yeah,
I can see
and,
him having a career.
We
over
all
there.
absolutely, and we all know
Put a
that.
mask on him. Give him a cane, you know,
some
what I
kind
mean?
of
Like,
monster
yeah.
gimmick. And
Yeah.
we all know how much Tony Khan loves ex-WWE guys.
Yeah, and the
you
last
know?
one's Cameron Grimes, and honestly,
Yes.
it was painful to watch him. It was painful for him to see him coming out with that hokey smile. And
It
his,
was
his thumbs
hokey.
out and his
Yep,
country
it was
western.
really-
this and that.
it was
I
really
ain't about
tacky.
it. Let him go. He was crying online
He
about it.
was.
He said,
I watched the
and
video
honestly,
today. I felt bad for the
yeah,
dude. I
but-
did.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, man. Take it on the chin.
I
Work
know.
harder. Get back
Yeah,
to where you need to
get
be.
better.
Like, don't,
The
no one
thing
wants
that-
to feel sorry for you. Like,
Right. The thing that got me about Cameron Grimes' social media post, he's in tears, but that's not what got me. What got me was that, he started off by saying, the last thing I got to say to my father was that I have become a WWE superstar. I've signed with the WWE. I guess his dad's no longer around. That hit me in the heartstrings just due to personal experience. I feel for him. But like Mike said, do better, work harder, grind harder, become an indie god. All right?
yeah.
Do that. I don't
New
see
Japan's
it.
always hiring, it seems. So.
Absolutely. And TK has got a big wallet. Maybe he could be on some dark matches on AEW because that's all about all the content worthy stuff we've seen out of this talent. And these releases did come out of nowhere. But guys like Jinder Mahal especially are already on podcasts talking about it. Specifically the Chris Van Vliet, the Insight podcast with CVV. He is already posted an episode with Jinder Mahal that I have to listen to, Mike, where he talks about the entire thing.
Okay.
He talks about the entire thing, and he even talks about his segment with The Rock. You know how they said they were bringing back a former WWE champion, and everyone got pumped, and it was Jinder Mahal. Everyone put their phones down, nobody cared, and then The Rock came out, to a massive pop. He was saying that The Rock reached out to him after that and thanked him, the modern-day Maharaja. So, yeah, that is our special segment, surprise WWE superstar releases, including Jinder Mahal, Veer Mahan, Sangha, Zion Quinn, Xia Li, Von Wagner, and Cameron Grimes. And guys, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been swell. We had a good time doing this Battle Royal open discussion for y'all. Always a free-form type of show that we can really just go with the flow and discuss all the trending topics in professional wrestling today. But before we walk out this door and leave you guys, we are going to leave you with what we always leave you with, man. Yeah, we are going to hit you with some on this day in wrestling history. Drink it in, man.
And on this day in wrestling history, we have our notable wrestling birthdays.
Happy birthday.
First one is the Amazing Red in 1982, better known as Jonathan Figueroa. Not better known, but that's his real name. Better
Yes.
known as the Amazing Red. The Puerto Rican professional wrestler and promoter, actually. He's best known for
did
working
not know that.
for Total Nonstop Action
Yes.
Wrestling,
TNA.
where he is the
He
former
was
three-time X Division
X-Division,
champion and one-time NWA World Tag Team champion. He has worked on the American Independent Circuit and appeared for Ring of Honor and Combat Zone Wrestling.
Yes, CZW as well. And I just want to note, big fan of Amazing Red. When I was watching during the early TNA days, the X Division is really what caught my interest. And guys like Amazing Red, Christopher Daniels, The Fallen Angel, AJ Styles, those were guys that made that division work and made it mean something, made the X Division title mean something. Shout out Amazing Red.
Let's just say that he is also the cousin of Zelina Vega.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and
there we
Joel
go.
and Jose Maximo as well. So
Interesting.
they're all related together.
Wrestling history, man.
Yeah, next birthday is Jerry Blackwell, 1949, American professional wrestler, better known by his ring name, The Crusher.
The Crusher.
Jerry Blackwell. He competed in 1979's World's Strongest Man contest, but withdrew early in the competition due to an injury. He was a main event star in American Wrestling Association, where he feuded with Mad Dog Vachon, Hulk Hogan,
Nice.
The Crusher, Bruiser Brody,
Wow.
and Sheik Andin Al Kaisi.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really legendary stuff. Mike, are there any more birthdays?
Yeah, we have Mr. Hito is our last one.
Okay.
He was actually born in 1942. His name is Katsuji.
It's never easy with these
Edaki. And he competed in North American and Japanese regional promotions
Okay.
from the 1950s until the mid-1980s. Most notable, he was the tag team partner of Mr. Moto, who was one of the earliest Japanese heels ever. While
wow.
wrestling in National Wrestling Alliance in the
NWA,
regional
man.
territories during the late 1950s.
Wow. Yeah, you're going back to territory days, and that's saying something. On this day in wrestling history, a very proud one for me. On this day in wrestling history, 4/25/1999, at the very first WWF Backlash pay-per-view from right here in fucking Providence, Rhode Island. I was there with my father. May he rest in peace. We got to see Stone Cold Steve Austin retain the WWF Championship in an epic, explosive WrestleMania XV rematch versus The Rock. And this match was something I'll never forget for the rest of my earthly time here on this planet. I was there with my dad. It was the craziest match I've seen in my life. Austin going over with a stunner. We had The Rock at one point working the camera, drawing to Stone Cold Steve Austin, getting stunned with the TV camera on his shoulder through the commentary table. We all erupted for this. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. I got to see it in person in our hometown
Amazing.
of Providence, Rhode Island, on this day in wrestling history.
And on this day in wrestling history, in 1989, at a WWF Saturday night main event taping in Des Moines, Iowa, Hulk Hogan retained the WWF Championship against the Big Boss Man in a steel cage match. What a match.
Wow.
Hogan was attacked by his no-holds-barred nemesis, Zeus, at the
Oh,
start of the match.
that was a
who
bad
was
man.
blocking Hogan's entrance into the cage. Zeus was Debo.
He
from-
was.
Yeah,
Yes, he was.
That's right.
That's my bike. My grandmama gave me that chain. It's my chain. Debo, here come Debo. Tuck your chains, guys. On this day in wrestling history, this is another crazy one. On this day in the year 2000, one of the most infamous title changes in WCW and wrestling history, period, took place when actor David Arquette became WCW champion at a Thunder taping in Syracuse, New York. This was the towards the end of the WCW, and it is obvious how they tanked. They are putting their prestigious, a championship that guys like Flair, Hogan, Savage, every big name under the sun held. They put it on David Arquette because of the Ready to Rumble movie that was coming out, and that was very, very, very looked down on in wrestling history, and it happened today.
Yeah, I remember hearing all about that. There's actually
Disgusting.
Yeah. So, in this day in wrestling history in 1994, the Head Shrinkers defeated the Quebecers in a WWF Tag Team title match for the tag team titles in a live edition of the WWF Monday Night Raw in Burlington, Vermont. Go ahead.
Yes, the Head Shrinkers, some of the older Bloodline members, Samu and Fatu, who became Rikishi, who we all know and love today. And on this day in wrestling history, 2010, John Cena retained the WWE Championship against Batista in a last man standing match in the main event of WWE Extreme Rules from Baltimore, Maryland. Also on this card, Jack Swagger, who is now Jake Hager in AEW, retained the World Heavyweight Championship against Randy Orton in an Extreme Rules match. We also saw Michelle McCool, wife of The Undertaker, the dead man brother, lose the WWE Women's Championship to the Glamazon Beth Phoenix in an Extreme Makeover match.
Wow. And on this day in wrestling history, in 2000 at a WWF SmackDown taping in Charlotte, North Carolina, Dean Malenko
the Iceman
pinned Scotty 2 Hotty for the WWF Light Heavyweight title, and Crash Holly pinned Matt Hardy for the WWF Hardcore title.
Yes, and we do miss the Hardcore title as well. This one is worth mentioning, guys. This one struck a chord with me back in 2014. On this day in wrestling history, 2014, Connor the Crusher Michaelic, who was a huge fan of Bryan Danielson and huge WWE fan, sadly passed away after a long battle with cancer at age 8 years old. Connor was in attendance at WrestleMania 30 with his parents, of course, in New Orleans to witness Bryan Danielson win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event. And Stephanie McMahon and Paul Triple H Levesque founded the Connor's Cure, a non-profit charitable organization for pediatric cancer research. Connor became the first recipient to receive the Warrior Award in 2015 WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Rest in peace to Connor the Crusher. And that's going to do it, guys. That is going to end this Battle Royal open discussion episode. We appreciate you guys joining us, and we appreciate every listener out there. It has been real. You can find the Source Wrestling Podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Follow us on X. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. We are there. It's the Pro Wrestling Guys. Thanks, guys. It's been a really fun time. You're listening to the Source Wrestling Podcast, the WWE, AEW, All Things Wrestling Podcast with Joe
and
Mike. Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Next time, let us talk to you again, brother.
Let us talk to you till we meet or till we
Yeet.
again.
Yeet.